Hello and welcome to this edition of the show. I'm your host, Brian Mallard, and this week we have a very special guest, CeeJae Fowler with Show-CeeJae Farms.
Show-CeeJae Farms.
Community Outreach Organization.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's good to have you on the show.
Thank you Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming on.
My pleasure.
Now we have a lot to cover, and a fairly short time to do it. So I'm not going to spend too much time on your history, but I would like to ask, where were you born?
I was had the pleasure of being born in Miami, Florida, but raised in Alabama, in Seal, Alabama. Moved to Alabama when I was 10 years old, and went to South Girard and graduated from Russell County High School 20 years ago, actually, this year.
I look at how long ago I graduated, and we just won't go there. So now tell me a little bit. You have some military background.
Yes, yes. I was blessed to be a veteran of the United States Army. I was in the reserves, and then shortly after that, I decided to go active duty.
Right.
I enjoyed being in the reserves. I loved my fellow brothers and sisters, the camaraderie so much that I decided to go active duty. And I just absolutely was blessed with my time in the military until I decided to get out and become a mother and just start a family.
Cool. Now, I want to go into a little bit about, well, not so much a little bit, a lot into Share Me. What led you to this project?
Share Me was actually an afterthought. After being a mother for several years and a disabled veteran, initially Share Me had started with the whole pretense of helping my fellow brothers and sisters, of being a disabled veteran myself and a horse lover.
Right.
I don't know if you could tell with the cowboy hat, but being a cowgirl, I wanted to start in a nonprofit organization with helping fellow brothers and sisters of the military with equestrian assisted therapy,
Right.
Knowing how much that horses can help the healing aspect of PTSD. I wanted to help veterans as well as myself,
Right.
with that, and wanted to start a nonprofit organization. But having a absolutely beautiful daughter myself, later on, about 2 or 3 years later down the road, it just evolved into an organization that would benefit not only veterans through a mentorship program, but it would benefit the youth in our community through various other programs that Share Me started with equestrian assisted therapy, using horses to help the youth, but also other programs that throughout the couple of years has evolved.
Right.
We've now developed a gardening program from the ground up. We have a music program that will hopefully be getting off the ground later in a couple of months. And we have some life skill programs we're developing proudly. And more than anything, the basis and foundation of Share Me Farms is our volunteer youth program.
Right.
We have given and donated through our youth program over 1,700 volunteer hours in the past year since our inception.
Nice.
Thank you. Very proud.
Tell me about some of the construction of this, because I have no idea how you even start something like that.
Oh, heaven. Half the time, I don't even know how we start. Well, knowing that I wanted to start a nonprofit organization, I knew that education would be the key.
Right.
I was blessed to have a mother that had a nonprofit herself many years ago. She had a homeless organization that assisted the homeless. And so growing up, giving back to the community, I knew that it wouldn't be an easy task to start a nonprofit. And I also knew that education, with something as strong as giving to the veterans and also the youth, would require education. And so I went, started my education at CVCC and also research on my own. And I'm sorry, I gained 2 degrees there, general studies and my associate's degree in criminal justice.
Cool.
Proudly an alumni there. And then I also went on to CSU and graduated with my bachelor's degree in criminal justice.
Nice.
Thank you. And my research at home afterwards is also focused in juvenile delinquency because our nonprofit, our focus of our nonprofit is we want the prevention of juvenile delinquency.
Right, not just dealing with it once it comes along.
Exactly. So we want to ensure that these young ladies and eventually young boys that we have in our program, that they don't go down the wrong path.
Right.
And so through mentoring and guiding them, we're preventing them from going down this wrong path. So we're uplifting and encouraging them. And so our focus on my education is in juvenile delinquency.
That's cool.
And I've had some amazing professors in both CVCC and at CSU that ensured that I got that proper education. And it's been amazing. Absolutely love it there.
And you know what, Brian, I wanted to jump in too. I know that we're going to touch a lot more into these subjects as we go along in the show. But with myself, and you know, I don't tell many people but myself, I also have health problems. And I know that CeeJae has a lot of her own issues. And it was just very impressive to me the extent that she has accomplished with the issues that she faces, because I can really understand from the viewpoint of having that.
Yeah.
And it's extremely impressive. And she's gone on to use that to help others. And that's something that we here at the show has been really close to our heart since we started this, is we really wanted to shine the light on people that go the extra mile for others.
And that's a really important part of this subject to bring up too, because it's hard enough just building the thing.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about some of your health issues and what you had to deal with in coming up with this, building this.
Well, you know, as I told Tim and you prior to this, is it's my testimony, and I'm always, to a degree, candid, but very much I have no problem sharing this. But a couple of years after getting out of the military, and while I was in the military, we didn't know this, but I was diagnosed with epilepsy.
Right.
And about 8 years ago, when my daughter was 4, almost 5 years old, I had a stroke, and that's when the epilepsy came on. And I have grand mal seizures. I have some other various forms of epilepsy as well. And God bless, I have auras. And so with auras, essentially you can feel your seizures coming on, and now they are medically controlled. Throughout my education the last couple of years, I faced a lot of adversities because not only with my PTSD, PTSD and stress induced my seizures, they're brought on through this. And, you know, being older and having the stroke and memory issues, it was a challenge gaining this education that I soulfully gained just for the nonprofit organization. And, you know, the challenge was even told, you know, by my doctors that I couldn't even go to college at my older age. Proudly, I'll be 38, and going to school with 17, 18-year-olds, you know, was very much a challenge. And, you know, I felt that them telling me that I couldn't go to school, you know, telling me no, of course.
It just makes you want to go more, doesn't it?
Yes, you know, blame it on the red hair or being Southern, you know. Yeah, both. My mother would tell
I can
you.
relate. I really
My mother
can.
would tell you I was stubborn from the get-go. But, you know, I had something to prove also to my young child. And the first couple of years, I had a few challenges. I definitely didn't. And I had to sit there and develop different ways about studying and test taking. And the first couple of years was, yes, they truly were a challenge. And my seizures were getting worse and we couldn't understand why. And come to find out, I was living in a house with black mold, which of course would trigger those seizures even worse. And unfortunately, they had become so worse right near the end of near my graduation date. And I was told at one point that I wasn't going to graduate, which made me want to even more.
Yeah.
Well, I just would like to tell you, at least from myself, that not only do I admire what you've been through and what you are continuing to do, and also the fact that you are doing it for others.
Yes.
But also, I give you from the bottom of my heart, I give you our thanks for the service to our country that you have provided.
Thank you.
Because
Thank
you make it possible us to be able to sit here every Sunday and do this little stupid show. But
it's not stupid by all means. I thank you. And you know, as much as I wish I could have retired, you know, I want to thank, honestly, my brothers and sisters that gave their lives for our country. There's many that never returned, and there's many that lost limb, and there's many that deal with battles every day and every night. You know, I know I deal with battles. I know I deal with PTSD due to various reasons. And, but I have many brothers and sisters that, you know, they know that they can call me at any time, and by no means do I have it as worse as them. And those are the ones that I want to thank, you know, and those are the ones that I hope to help through our organization, and not just these young children, because they are amazing mentors to our young children in this program that can give back, and they do every day. And I only hope I can as well.
And I believe you will. And it helps the children and it helps the vets.
Thank you.
We're going to have to go to a commercial. Tim, dial that up and we'll be right back. We got some pictures we're going to show, give it a little visual example.
Thank you.
Timeless beauty at the Gypsy Cherub, 3760 Woodruff Road, Columbus, Georgia. Class is back in style.
Hello and welcome back to this edition of the show. Special guest CeeJae Fowler. So, CeeJae, tell us, you've got your degrees and you're going for more.
Yes. I plan on, I will be here shortly pursuing my master's in social work and eventually, hopefully, my doctorates.
Very cool.
Thank you.
While answering the next question, I'll let Tim dial up some pictures here. We're gonna show, and maybe you can give a little description of some of them.
Okay. So that there are some of my beautiful young ladies, just a few. We have about 15 in our program that volunteer with us. Like I said, we have about 1,700 volunteer hours combined. And I believe that picture there is when we volunteered at the horse show in Phoenix City.
Cool. Next.
That there is just one of many examples of our horsemanship program that we have developed. That's myself there showing one of our young ladies how to clean the barn and set up the horse there.
Next.
This is one of my favorite pictures. This is when we went to go visit the Auburn Equestrian Center.
Go Auburn.
Well, roll tide, but I have to say, after visiting there, I am an Auburn fan. A lot of these young ladies, they want to be veterinarians. And so the amazing opportunity we had visiting Auburn University is they got the opportunity to learn that they can get scholarships.
Yeah.
There, and hopefully, one of our 5-year plans is that we will be able to provide scholarships to these young ladies to go to Auburn, to go to Alabama, Roll Tide, to go to any college that they would like to attend, whether it's for veterinarian, whether it's for education, to pursue their degree to be a teacher. So that was an amazing opportunity there. This here, this is a recent picture. We do with our community outreach program. If we are invited, we go and we have a gardening program that we've developed from the ground up. In our agricultural education program, I went and visited Oliver Elementary, which many of our young ladies just recently the other day graduated 6th grade from.
Nice.
And so proud of them. And so this is a photo of myself giving 1st graders a gardening class and teaching them how to grow seedlings.
Cool.
And I'm going to take a guess, just because of that flowing red mane coming out of the cowboy hat. That's you.
Yes.
Oh.
That is me. And actually, I'm wearing, very proud to represent CSU's equestrian club. Their
Really? I didn't know
t-shirt.
CSU had an equestrian.
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yes, they do. And I'm absolutely very proud of them. I just want to give a shout out to CSU. Go Cougars.
There you go.
Yes. And this is a photo of a couple of our youth volunteer group members and myself on the right side with the red hair, as you pointed out. These are our young ladies at the steeplechase last year. We were volunteering there to help set up and, whether it was sell the mums that they're so ever known for. And very proud of these young ladies. I believe we had 7 or 8 of our volunteers there.
Cool.
We're ever so known for our pink shirts. So we're known as pink shirt ladies.
And speaking of shirts, would you like to go on? I kind of read one of your little Facebook posts. You're looking for logos. Is that true?
Yes, we are in. We just got a new logo created in red, white, and blue. Just ever so popular for America. We're very proud to represent. And we also will be having some pink shirts as well.
Cool.
But we are currently looking for sponsors. So if there are any, we have about 10 to 12 slots available for any business or personal sponsors out there. And if anyone would like to help us in purchasing any of these sponsor slots, the money there that is left over from purchasing the shirts will also assist us in the monies that is much needed for our 501(c)(3) status that is currently pending. We come out of pocket for every one of, whether it's the gas, the food, because every one of our volunteer events that we go to is free, 100% free. We do not charge to go to an event.
And so very quickly before we go to this next picture, I know that we'll touch on it later, but just to let everyone know your Facebook page where they can actually go and get this information.
Facebook page is Cherami Farms Community Outreach, and it's CHERAMI Farms, plural.
Excellent. All right. We'll go to the next picture here. See what we got.
This is one of my favorite pictures. This is one of our little one of our volunteers, our youngest volunteer. And of course, myself. This was chosen as one of our favorite pictures by the mother, Miss Donna Higdon, and Sarah, walking in one of our favorite events, steeplechase. I love the fact that we were able to volunteer at Steeplechase, and we thank them enough. We can't wait to volunteer once again. Steeplechase, as it's known, this is a great event that the girls were able to go to because, this is another event that if not going there, these young ladies would not have the opportunity to go to such a social interaction.
Right.
You know, many of these young ladies are from rural areas. And so usually on a Saturday, they would just be sitting at home.
Right.
You know, oftentimes their friends are, whether it's 2 to 3, even 10 miles away. And so sitting at home, whether it's watching cable or being on social media, and this is another opportunity to be around individuals that they would not have the opportunity to interact with.
Exactly.
Which will give them a leg up later on in life. This picture, yet again, is we have Sheriff Heath Taylor from Russell County Sheriff Department, and our young ladies from our youth group and one of our board members. We are selling at the Russell County Stampede, a rodeo that we got to volunteer at once again, and hopefully this year again. What we're doing is these young ladies are learning, once again, valuable life lessons and marketing skills through our volunteer events. And that's, yet again, what we learned through volunteering. And like I said prior, they'll have a leg up, you know, whether it's, you know, their first time getting a job, you know, and through volunteering, they're learning these life skills. And so at the rodeo, we were blessed to be able to raise, I believe it was a 50-50. They sold 361 tennis balls.
Wow.
And through that 50-50, that 50% of that money was given to the charity that the rodeo donated the money to.
That's cool. That's very cool.
Yes, very proud of these young ladies. And here we have, once again, many of our young ladies that are in our youth volunteer group with our pink shirts, and which will soon be replaced with our newer shirts with our logos on back, and our sponsors as well. Those are just a few of our ladies in our youth group, and we are also accepting applications for more. So if anyone here are, you know, if you are willing or wanting to have your child, whether it's a lady or a boy as well, we are accepting applications for our youth volunteer group and mentors as well. So if you're interested in becoming a mentor with our youth volunteer group, please contact us on Facebook.
And last but not least, I like this one the best simply because of the message. And it says, if you can't get it, I love that Show-CeeJae, and I hope I pronounced that correctly. Show-CeeJae. I'm terrible at this, guys.
That's okay.
I'm sorry. But they allow our family to volunteer opportunities so we as parents can lead by example by serving others, which is in itself the definition of leadership.
Yeah.
Very much. You know, and like I've said I'm sorry.
You're fine. You're fine.
Like I've said before, thank you. I said I wouldn't cry. You know, like I've said many times before, you know, being veteran founded and with some of our mentors, matter of fact, the family in there, the father is a veteran. But the basis and the mission of this is veterans and community leaders mentoring youth for the prevention of juvenile delinquency.
Right.
And what we've learned in the military, many of our veterans, and also in the community, what we've learned is to mentor, to change those who've come in and correct those habits, but to uplift and encourage the soldiers. And you know, these young children may or may not become the next soldiers.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But whether they go into the military, they choose to become teachers, they choose to become veterinarians, they choose, you know, whatever they choose in life, they're going to have a leg up. They're going to have this experience that's going to help them in everyday life. these battles that they're facing, whether it's bullying,
Right.
whether it's, coming from a home that's broken, we can help them with what we've learned in life and the experiences we had prior to being in the military or prior to the experiences we had in adulthood.
Mhm.
And reading that message, it blessed me because it's teaching me that the path that God put me on, the
Mhm.
path that my parents, they encouraged me.
You're right.
And my mother and the stepfather I was blessed with,
Mhm.
they helped me and they encouraged me. And every day they continue to encourage me.
Mhm.
I'm on the right path. And I'm absolutely blessed every day to have this opportunity. And not only that, but the family members that are in this youth group and the board members that serve alongside with me and encourage me as well. And all they do, the late nights, the exhausting days, everything that I've been able to accomplish with their assistance, I couldn't have done it without them. And of course, the youth group, I couldn't have been able to do it without them because they're just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
And so before we go to a commercial, I guess it's true that it takes a village.
Amen.
It does
It
take a
does.
village, yes.
Absolutely.
Hello, I'm Catherine Childry with Let's Vocalize. For over 35 years, I've coached vocalists and groups privately. I also perform vocal workshops training choirs. I'd love the opportunity to show you how direction, discipline, vocal health care, and regular practice can drastically improve you, your group, or your choir's performance. Call me at 706-536-6123 or visit us online at www.letsvocalize.com. I'd love to help you offer your best gift.
Hello and welcome back to this edition of the show. Special guest CeeJae Fowler and Cherami Farms Community Outreach. Now you've built quite a thing, and it's just in the starting phases, and you've come a long way. You've seen results.
Absolutely.
It's already proven that it is a viable campaign.
Yes. Throughout the year of implementation, I've done 3 years prior, 3 years of research, 1 year of actual implementation.
Right.
Mentoring children prior to that, of course, but the actual 1 year of implementation and ensuring that every day we build upon the success of the program.
Right.
And so, of course, looking forward to the 2-year mark, the 5-year, the 10-year mark.
Yeah, in fact, that's one of the questions I need to be asking is where would you like to see yourself in 5 years and in 10 years? What are your goals?
Well, in 5 years, we look forward to having our own facility.
Right.
As of right now, of course, being self-funded, that's been the difficulty.
Right.
As a disabled veteran, of course, single mother and full-time student prior and currently, it's been difficulties being self-funded. But once we receive our 501(c)(3) official status and grants that we're applying for, we'll be able to build our own facility. I always joke around and tell people currently we're a mobile farm. I know that Cherami Farms is the current name, and so we always have the constant question of where is your farm?
Right.
And I tell them, wherever it is, wherever we're asked to be, that's where we are currently. Because, not even just in 5 years, but hopefully next year, this time next year, we hope to have our property and a facility built. And, and in 5 years, the success of Cherami Farms and the programs that have been developed and proven to be successful, implemented permanently in that location.
Right.
And it will be in Russell County, serving Seal, Phoenix City, but also the locations surrounding Russell County. So we will be serving Lee County, Muskogee County, Harris County, anyone that wishes to come, we look forward to it. It will be like a country YMCA.
Nice.
Yes, we so look forward to doing it.
And something's just occurred to me. You say you're a mobile farm, and then you want to build, your permanent. But you could even consider having a part of it that remains mobile forever.
Absolutely, because the basis of our actual program and the success of it is the volunteer youth program. Giving back to the community. This teaches these young children humanity. And they're building these social skills that are extremely imperative to the success of their life skills. Every day and every weekend that we have the opportunity to volunteer with such Camp Dream, Spark, with amazing, like I said before, steeplechase, with Russell County Rodeo, with Hillside Ranch, every wonderful organization that we volunteer with, they're building amazing life skills, marketing strategies, just social skills, meeting with amazing people that they otherwise would not have the opportunity to, even with having a permanent location. So we still would want to build upon and continue to have those the volunteer youth program and keep that and maintain that.
Where would you like to see yourself in 20 years?
In 20 years, that's a tricky question, but I've always told myself and deep down inside, having such to myself, I don't want to sound too cocky and bold, but we've named it farms plural for a reason. Building the curriculum for the agricultural education program, for the horsemanship program, we would not want to just keep it in one location. We would want to give back to the community on a national spectrum. We would want, it would be such a blessing to be able to provide this curriculum to, whether it be Texas, to any location, New York. We could definitely see a Share Me Farms in Colorado, in Virginia, North Carolina, everywhere. What a blessing it would be to have this nonprofit to whomever would, because it's, I constantly say, see a need, fill a need to the young ladies. When someone is in need, fill it. And there's such a need throughout the entire United States for something such as this level.
Oh yeah. The, single parent families.
Exactly.
That's a nationwide issue.
Unfortunately, it sadly, it's become prevalent in society for those that are single family, like you said, single family, latchkey homes, children that are unfortunately from a low level bracket income, and unfortunately, it's been proven that statistically that those that come from these kind of homes, unfortunately, those juveniles are prone to delinquent behaviors. And through my education, that's unfortunately what I've studied, the statistics of that level. And if there's anything that can assist them, whether it be an agricultural program, a horsemanship program, what child doesn't love animals? And then there may be many children that are scared of horses, and that's why we developed the music program. And there's children that do not want to learn music, so let's assist them on an agricultural aspect. And the agricultural program not only helps them out in fresh air, but nutritionally as well.
So as you continue to build, as the years go by, or the days go by, really, it sounds like.
Yes, sir.
As we begin to try to wrap things up, because I know that this is something that we really want to try to get into a little more, and Brian and I have actually spoken about maybe doing an infomercial or something else that CeeJae can put on her website.
Mm-hmm.
As this thing continues to grow, I can't even talk today, guys. As it continues to grow, I'm sure you'll keep people updated.
Of course.
And once again, your social footprint, can you give us all your addresses to your Facebook and your website?
Everything in one box where people.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, we have currently 2 Facebook pages. We have the Share Me Farms Community Outreach page. We also have Share Me Farms Cowgirls page, which is for our custom cowgirls hats that helps financially support.
Beautiful hat too.
Why, thank you. We hand paint cowboy hats to help financially support our program, along with other fundraisers. Then we've just we're working on creating our our website page,
Right.
which is sharemefarms.org. So that is currently in the build-in phase. That should hopefully be up and running by the end of this month.
Gotcha. And one more time, spell Share Me Farms so everyone will know exactly how it's spelled.
Well, Share Me, it is CHERAMI Farms, plural, and .org, which will be the website. So
that'll be all one word.
All one word.
Gotcha.
Yes.
ShareMeFarms.org.
Yes. And you can look up the name and the origin in regards to the pigeon story, which we can.
Which is fascinating.
It is. And it's
We'll
a shame we couldn't get to that. But
That's fine.
If you can't remember any of this information, then of course this program will also be archived on YouTube for hopefully eons to come, long after we're gone. But if not, you can go to, and once again, it's all one word, the Show-Columbus on Facebook, and we'll provide you with all that information or point you to CeeJae's, different pages.
Exactly. And she's friends with me on Facebook, Brian Mallard Facebook, friends with Tim. So you can find her pretty easily or just hit one of us up. Well, CeeJae, I really appreciate it. I hate that we have to cut it, but
thank you so much for this opportunity.
thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Tim.
No, thank you.
And last word is that, you've heard a lot of information, but what it boils down to is it is very, very important what they're doing, because kids can go one direction or the other. And she's just trying to make sure that they go in the right direction instead of the wrong direction. And that's something to be supported. Until next time, I'm your host, Brian Mallard, for the show. And you heard Tim in the background, who's running the controls.
Goodbye.